मैम ज्वाइन कर ले, एक बार वेट कर रहे हैं बस मैम के ज्वाइन करने की, देन वील स्टार्ट.
I've already joined, Sharda. We can
गुड
start.
मॉर्निंग. ओके मैम.
Good.
ओके.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning to all of you. Good morning.
राखी.
Principal ma'am. Ma'am, good morning, Punita
Good
Sharma.
morning. Good morning. Good morning, Punita ji.
Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, all of you. Good morning. Yes, shall we start, Sharda?
राखी शुरू कर लेते हैं. हेलो राखी. हेलो.
Am I audible?
हाँ, यस यस
Yes,
यस.
Rakhi.
Okay. Respected Madam Principal, Professor Sheila Reddy, Vice Principal Sir Dr. Venkat Kumar, our esteemed speakers for the day, and all the respected teacher mentors. Very good afternoon to everyone. I'm Dr. Rakhi Narang from Department of Electronics. On behalf of the entire organizing team, a very warm welcome to all of you to this online workshop on mentoring the mentors. Now, as per my understanding, mentoring is a process of supporting students by constructive interactions and guidance to improve their learning and leadership skills, motivating them towards their future career development. We will learn more about the various aspects of effective mentoring from our speakers today. Now, let us begin the event. Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity. It removes the darkness and gives us a new hope. With this noble thought in mind, let us start the event by lighting the digital lamp. According to our tradition, any auspicious work begins with a prayer. May Ma Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, wisdom, and art, bestows her divine blessings on us. I would now like to invite Niladri Charles, a student of History Honours first year, to present Saraswati Vanna.
सरस्वती शारदा माता सरस्वती शारदा विद्यादायिनी दयामयी जगत जननी ज्वालामुखी सरस्वती शारदा सरस्वती शारदा माता सरस्वती शारदा विद्यादायिनी दयामयी जगत जननी ज्वालामुखी सरस्वती शारदा माता सरस्वती शारदा कीजिए सुदृष्टि कीजिए सुदृष्टि सेवक जान इतना बरदाई तार और राधा
Thank you, Niladri. We all feel blessed indeed. Now, I would like to invite the convener of this workshop, Dr. Sharda Pasricha ma'am, to formally welcome the gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Rakhi. Respected Professor Pathi, Principal ma'am, our Vice Principal, Dr. Venkat Kumar, sir is a little busy, not able to join us. Maybe he'll join a little later. And my dear colleagues, a very good afternoon to all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you to this one-day online workshop titled Mentoring the Mentors, being organized by the IQAC of our college. Friends, most successful people can point to one or more people who have been particularly important for their growth and development. These people are mentors. Mentors can serve many purposes. Sometimes they will help an individual with immediate needs, helping them solving pressing problems, getting important information, or learning a skill quickly. Other times, it provides long-term support and guidance. Regardless of the specific need being addressed, mentoring is a giving, receiving relationship for everyone involved. It is about helping your mentees to expand and grow in every possible way. We are fortunate to have 3 experts with us today who will be throwing more light on the subject and will give us some insights on how to go about helping our students in the best possible way. We will know when to help and when to refer them to experts for further guidance. I'm very thankful to Professor Pathi, Professor Rajesh Sagar, who have taken time out of their busy schedule to be with us here today. I'm also thankful to Dr. Punita Sharma, for agreeing to share her knowledge and wisdom with us. I thank our principal, Professor Sheila Reddy, for her constant guidance and encouragement in all our endeavors. I'm thankful to my colleagues, Dr. Rakhi, Dr. Pooja, Dr. Rangarajan, and Dr. Vinita, for their active participation in planning and execution of today's program. Last but not the least, I also thank our team of enthusiastic participants for your active participation. It will motivate us to keep getting better. I wish all participants a fruitful learning session. Thank you.
Rakhi, you are on mute. Rakhi, unmute yourself. So thank you.
Yeah, I would now like to hand over the session to Pooja Jain.
Thank you, Dr. Rakhi. I hope I am audible.
Yes, Pooja, please continue.
Yes. Thank you, Shada ma'am, who has been the backbone of the conceptualization of this event and the biggest working hand behind the scenes for the welcome address and setting the tone for this program. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Pooja Jain, and on behalf of the entire team of this workshop, I once again welcome you all to this program, Mentoring the Mentors, organized by IQAC of our college. A leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Our winsome principal ma'am does not set out to be just a leader, but rather becomes an exceptional one by the quality of her actions and integrity of her intent. So may I now invite the navigator of this flagship of knowledge, Professor C. Sheila Reddy ma'am, to address our faculty members. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Pooja. I am very happy that our college is organizing this very important workshop on mentoring the mentors, which is the need of the hour, because we talk about transforming the students into well-rounded individuals. We focus on holistic education and value-based education. So when we are talking all these things, it is necessary that students who enter the college life, they need some support, guidance, and some sessions which will help them to enjoy the learning in the college and make the college life fruitful. So it is in this direction this particular workshop assumes significance. Often students may not know to identify their strengths and weaknesses. There's a lot of confusion in college life. There would be a lot of peer pressure. Sometimes they do not know what is their potential. So mentoring helps to draw the best out of the students and to support them as and when necessary, and to provide the needed guidance so that they enjoy the college life, and when they leave the college they leave with good memories and cherish the college life all through their life. So it is in this context the IQAC conceptualized this idea, and I really compliment the entire team of IQAC and all the members of the organizing team for materializing this workshop. And as mentioned by Dr. Sharda, we have very important speakers, Professor Pati from IIT Delhi, who would be interacting on mentoring process. So what is mentoring process and how mentors should behave, and what exactly they need to do to support or extend the needed guidance to the students is of utmost importance. I think we would immensely benefit from this particular session. Secondly, we also have Professor Rajesh Shagar from AIIMS Delhi, who will be touching upon very important issues, that is emotional and social issues. Sometimes, the student is unable to express. it is very difficult what exactly the student is suffering from and in what state of mind he is experiencing. I think first we should be have clarity as mentors what are the emotional and social issues the students are facing. For this session by Professor Rajesh Sagar would be immensely useful to us. And we have, of course, our Dr. Punita Sharma, who is a valued colleague, and we certainly take pride in her achievements, who would be interacting with us on value-based education or how to impart moral values to the students. Overall, I definitely hope that this workshop would be very enriching, intellectually stimulating, and very insightful for all of us. So once again, a very warm welcome to all the three speakers and my best compliments and wishes for the organizing team who have taken all pains and efforts in organizing such a wonderful and amazing workshop. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words and for being a wholesome torchbearer of our institution. We are indeed incredibly thankful for your indelible support throughout. Now, before we proceed further, I would request you all to please post your queries in the chat box. We will take up all the queries at the end of the session. And please do write your names and department names also while you post your queries in the chat box. Today, we are blessed to have a radiating panel of dignitaries gracing this occasion with their benign presence to enlighten us on the mentoring process, emotional and social issues, and moral values involved in the mentoring. So our first speaker of the event is a revered personality in the academic domain, Professor K.M. Pathi, faculty and senior consultant at IIIT Delhi. His areas of specialization includes good governance and management, applied ethics and human values, leadership and behavioral competencies in governance, communication and emotional intelligence, information communication technology, and social development. He has spent more than 2.5 decades in teaching and imparting training to Indian Administrative Service officers, Foreign Civil Services officers, and officers of Parliament of India, etc. Further, he has addressed and conducted workshops for scientists and technologists, GMs and AGMs of corporate sector, university teachers, and research scholars. He is also actively involved in the preparation of training modules and curriculum for various administrative training institutions and universities. With more than 34 publications, he also acts as a consultant to government departments in institutional projects of public importance. Over the years, he has also delivered keynote addresses and lectures at prominent institutions such as Pride, NCGG, and CPDHE, etc. On behalf of the entire team, I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir. Now, with these words, I would like to invite Professor K.M. Pathi to speak about the mentoring process. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much for all the introductions. Thank you. And I'll share my screen because I have a small presentation to share. And I hope this works. Okay. Is my presentation visible? Hello?
Yes, sir, it is visible. Yes, sir, it is visible.
All right. All right. Great. Now, since this is not exactly a lecture, this is more of a workshop. So I would rather talk to all of you. So how should we go about it? I mean, should we keep it in a I just want to know like English, Hindi, or should I mix both the languages, or how should we go about it? And I would like to hear everybody's thoughts also as it goes on. And all of you look very serious. Anand Pandey Sahab looks very serious. Ajit looks very serious. I thought this is more of a talk, right? I mean, I'm going to talk to all of you. It's not going to be one-way kind of a communication. It's mentoring we're going to talk about, right? So Ajit Sahab, can you guys hear me? I like to talk to everybody. I would like to hear your
Yes,
experiences.
sir, you
Okay,
are.
Sir, you are
okay,
clearly audible.
clearly audible, but I want to hear your voice also. I thought teachers usually speak a lot, but I can see the teachers here, यहाँ कुछ बोल नहीं रहे. So should I get to academic mode or should I keep it in a workshop mode? You guys tell me. I mean, how do you want to play this? proper lecture, I start getting serious, and or should I just talk to all of you? Okay, Arpita has raised her hand. Okay, I'll do a couple of things. I'll see, well, you feel free to just talk. I mean, don't raise your hands, just feel free because this is exact. I mean, I'm with friends here. I'm one of your colleagues, so just keep it that way. Let's not keep it as like, oh, this is a senior man. Fine, I'm going to retire next year. That's a different story, but we'll see. Okay, I plan to talk about a couple of things here. And this is my parent university where I work with. I used to work with. I've stopped active teaching now. I spend a lot of time with the Masuri Academy because we are we are in a small mission about on Mission Karm Yogi. We are trying to train officers in different parameters. So this is the other place where I work with right now. This is Pride. This is a parliamentary training institute inside Lok Sabha. So I've been there for some time now. And of late, I've been working a lot with Delhi Police as an advisor, as a consultant. And actually, when I talk about mentoring, I'm going to share a couple of case studies. Actually, you haven't told me something like Hindi or English. Yeah, dono mix. Nobody's saying anything.
So both are fine. Whatever you're comfortable
No,
with.
Fine, sir.
I'm comfortable in Tamil. Will that be okay?
No,
Telugu will be fine.
no, 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 no,
See, I was
no.
South Indian. I was South Indian.
You can
So
do English, not
English and yes, sir.
English कर सकते हैं.
अच्छा, अरुणा मैम says English चल सकता है. अच्छा, थोड़ा
English,
बहुत.
English.
अच्छा, English. अच्छा, थोड़ा मराठी चलेगा?
नहीं, मराठी भी नहीं चलेगा.
यार,
Explain करोगे तो चलेगा. नहीं तो
हाँ,
नहीं
explain
चलेगा.
कर दूंगा. मैं
हाँ,
explain
ठीक
कर
है.
दूंगा. बिल्कुल,
Hmm.
बिल्कुल. Okay. So I'll try to keep it bilingual. I think I like to keep it conversational. Okay. My
Yeah.
whole I'm going to share almost 30 years of my experience, mentoring experience, teaching experience with all of you. And my mentoring process started. In fact, my first experience, big time mentoring process started with this Delhi Police project. In fact, all of you are from Delhi. So there is this women's safety application called Himmat. I don't know how many of you actually download it and use it also. Now, this is an app. You won't believe this app was completely built by students. And it was my personal project, which I shared with my students. That's where mentoring started. In fact, I learned a lot about it. So I'll share some of these experiences. These are the kids. They're all at Delhi Police headquarters, making presentations. And it was completely, even the logo that you see today in airports and police vans, it's all designed by students, all designed by students. So I'll share that learning experience with all of you. And this is, again, one of those release functions in February 2018. So I'll share this. And today's sessions, I'll talk about a couple of things first. And since it's about mentoring process, I'll go to the process a little later. Process पे बाद में जाएंगे. पहले हम बात करते हैं, we'll talk about competencies. What should be the skill sets a mentor needs to have? सबसे बड़ी बात. But we're all teachers. Teaching and mentoring, these are two different skills. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about mentoring models. I'll talk about two big models which we can use in our classrooms. And plus, besides that, one of the things which I've seen over a period of years is once we start mentoring, some malpractices also creep in. Mentoring malpractices. I know there's a later session moral values, but yeah, we are also humans. Sometimes we also do mistakes here and there. So we'll talk about these. And the biggest issues like mentees mistakes. Mentees also make mistakes. So we need to understand that also. So it's a little longer session, but I'll try to compress things here in 1 hour's time. So I'll talk about these things. And if you are okay, I can share the presentation also later. If you're okay, I may share some reading matter also, if you're all willing to explore this whole mentoring process further. So my basic source happens to be Kathy Cram. Kathy Cram is a scholar. She's basically worked a lot on mentoring. And her basic book is this mentoring at work. But a lot of her concepts are useful in education also. So I'll try to use her ideas a bit. And of course, I don't know how many of you know this. There's Nature, since Vartika may know about it, Dr. Shada may know about it. It's a journal. And these people have something called mentoring awards in science. And they have a wonderful page which actually talks about mentees' experiences. So I'm going to combine these things and I'll give you some practical perspective. When I say practical, mentoring is about practice. It's not about theory. So I'll not talk about theory here. I'll just talk about I'll just keep talking about how can we practice mentoring, how to go about the whole process of mentoring. I'll talk about that. And इसके अलावा I'll keep asking you questions because I like to hear your thoughts also because all of you are teachers, so you have ideas here. We'll talk about it. So first question for everybody. What do you, I mean, when I say mentorship, what comes to your mind? The moment I say mentorship, what comes to your mind? You don't have to raise hands, you can just feel free to talk. The moment I say, Jesse, when bola mentorship, what image do you get immediately? Hello?
A person who shapes like the personality of the other.
Guidance. Guidance.
Guidance? Okay, guidance, shaping personality. Okay, what else? I mean, please leave your name also so that I know who is giving me these ideas. Okay, guidance, shaping personality. Okay, what else? Quick, quick, quick.
Taking under your wings.
Taking under your wings. Okay, great. Oh, any other
Problem
ideas?
solving.
Problem solving. Okay, great. Okay, problem
My
solving.
own mentors, my own mentors who shaped my life.
Uh-huh.
That
Okay,
comes to
fine.
my mind as soon as I hear the word mentor.
Okay, great, 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 great. As soon as you hear the word, the mentors who shaped your life, something. All this like shaping life. These are functions of mentorship. These are functions of mentorship. Mentorship is a relationship. Basically, it's a relationship. It's a relationship that you build with your students. And this relationship is a little longer relationship. It's not about teaching relationship. It's a very important relationship. So mentoring will have its challenges. Why? Because it's a relationship. And in a relationship, there's a lot of sharing happens. A lot of self-disclosure happens. आप अपने बारे में बताते हैं, वो अपने बारे में बताते हैं. And this is off the classroom, classroom के बाहर, not inside the classroom. So this is a different kind of a relationship. So mentoring is all about a relationship. And once a relationship works, only then you can talk about shaping them or helping them or solving the problem. So it's a relationship. बच्चा इतनी जल्दी खुल के बात नहीं करेगा आपके साथ. So it's a relationship. How you build that relationship. That is what this process is all about, building relationship. Now, when I say relationship, I will talk about that's how we look at mentoring. It's a very personal relationship that you have. It's reciprocal. You will talk to that person will talk to you. There's an element of person involved, not teacher student. Not teacher student. It's a very personal, reciprocal relationship. And in this, what you do is you share your life lessons, not only teachings, you share your life lessons. And you kind of act as a role model to that person. That's what mentorship is all about. That's what mentoring is all about. So to do all this, somebody has a nice, amazing. Okay. Yeah, I never knew you're all so. I mean, आप लोग सब इतने serious नहीं बैठते क्या हर वक्त? All of you look so serious. Some of you only staring at me. I think I look like a human being. Okay, anyway, so this is a kind of a very, very serious process where Aruna ma'am is the only one who's smiling a bit. Rest all are just staring and wondering what is happening. It doesn't matter. I think I'll continue. All right. Okay. I'll use all of.
I said I feel you because that's exactly what I keep telling my students.
Yeah, great.
कि कुछ तो बोलो, कुछ तो बोलो, कुछ तो बोलो. So I can.
Acha, it's like this. Whenever I do these workshops with teachers, suddenly when the teachers on the other side, they become like students.
Yeah.
I can imagine some of your body language also. आराम से कुर्सी पे बैठे हुए हैं, देख रहे हैं घूर घूर के, nothing. There's nothing on the face. So we'll talk about all these things. Oh, students also act like this.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about this. Okay. So it's about this part, the personal reciprocal relation. The key word is personal. And mentors are basically, I'm going to use a couple of ideas here. Mentors play multiple roles. And these are the roles which you have to be open to. For a mentoring to be successful, for the whole process to be successful, these are some of the roles you have to play. And you have to be very open about it. You have to be very open about it. First role is about you have to be willing. बच्चा ना कई बार पूछता है अच्छा there's one more thing. You're dealing with a very tech savvy generation, a very different generation. I belong to a generation which was like black and white movies, age old generation. Now, in my generation, there were nothing called emojis. in my generation, when you see Bollywood movies, old Hindi movies, they never show hero heroine hugging each other. They'll show hero heroine coming, and they show two flowers coming close. That's my generation. Today's generation, they're all emojis. They're all extremely smart. So there's a kind of a generational gap also. So that's why you have to break through that gap also. And besides, you you are a repository of not only instructional knowledge, you're a repository of life lessons. वो सीखेगा कहाँ से यार? आप ही लोगों से सीखेगा life lessons. So you have to be an advisor to them. One. Second, this is the key part. They don't come with problems. They'll come for support. They come for validation. They come for validation. Like in the whole Himmat project, I had a student as a team member. He was a gay. He was openly gay about it, and he was also Mr. Gay India. He went to World Gay Championship. He's a wonderful designer. And when he started working on the project, a lot of them were little apprehensive working with him. So he often used to come to me for that support, for the validation. And I'm talking about 2015, 16, long back. So they come for support, and the biggest support they'll come is that emotional support. वो चाहते कोई सुने उनकी बात. You know something, they're also coming into, see, 18-year kid, when he comes to a college, he's also transitioning. There's a major shift happening. He's also looking for his identity. So he needs that validation. He needs that support. That's one. Next one, this is the most important thing. They need not general feedback, specific feedback. Specific feedback. How am I doing? Where am I lacking? This is where your role as a tutor comes in. And the fourth one is, Acha, I have a very honest question to all of you. Do you think our kids are employable, our students are employable? Are they worth getting a job? Are they worth getting placed? What's your thoughts? Uh, Arpita, you can switch off. Arpita, you can share some thoughts. I can just see four of you.
Well,
Uh,
our students are certainly more smart than we were at their age because they
Mm-hmm.
have a greater access to knowledge.
Yes, true, true,
Yeah,
true, true.
but the value systems that we were brought up with and their value systems are vastly different.
Absolutely agree. Okay.
Yeah, but there are certain basic values which remain the same. The
Uh-huh.
values of discipline and integrity that remains the same.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So if we can talk to them about those basic values, I think they are certainly employable, but they need to be guided in the
Okay.
right direction.
Okay. Now, when I say employability, I'll come from Government of India's perspective. When I say employability, the biggest problem with the biggest challenge employers have is they lack the skill sets. They may be very good with coding, they may be very good with the subject matter knowledge, but they are very poor team players. Some of them will not have the relevant communication, or I should say interpersonal skill. They'll make wonderful PPTs, amazing PowerPoint presentation, but they're not able to deliver. Right. And one of the biggest challenges they have is like this interpersonal part. This is where the expert, this is where the teacher becomes a role model. You know something, kids pick up a lot of skills by watching it in classroom. आपको देख के सीखते हैं. How you conduct yourself in a classroom, how do you pronounce a certain word, how do you present yourself completely. They observe that and they spend 3 growing years, 3 बहुत अहम साल जिंदगी के आपके साथ बिताते हैं वो लोग. So you are a role model also for them. You're an expert and a role model also. So these are the things mentors have to do. And these are things you need to do. Further, for the next, mentors are very much. This is one big area I need to explain on. I have seen a lot of great teachers, wonderful teachers. I mean, in students' language, they call them rock star teachers. That's how students speak really seriously. Rock star teachers, cool teachers. These are the terms these guys have. Now they are wonderful teachers, but when it comes to mentoring, there's a big challenge. So that's the reason we need to identify that's the reason I added a small excellent teacher may or may not be excellent mentor. I personally know of some teachers who are great teachers, but they don't like to talk to students after the class has get over. And if a student goes to a problem, they're very, very clear. Is it an academic problem? I'll take it up. But life is not all about academy, and I'm talking about residential campuses. So mentoring skills are very different. Okay, I'll start by a small question to all of you. What do you think are the mentoring skills? What do you think are basic competencies a mentor must have? Then we get to the process. Basic, what do you think? I'm not talking about teaching skills. I'm not talking about instructional skills. I'm talking about mentoring competencies. What do you think are the mentoring competencies? Any ideas? Let's see.
Listening skills.
Sorry, listening. Sharda, listening? Seriously?
Yeah. Patience, listening skills.
Okay, patience. Okay, all right. All right. What else?
We should have empathy, more empathy towards their problems.
Okay, empathy. All right. Haha. And who was this?
Nuti.
My name
Drop
is Nuti Nanda.
Okay, great. Okay, just to help matters, I'll share my mobile number also. You
सर
can text me on
उन
हाँ हाँ बताएं 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 फरमाएं.
हमें उनके लेवल में आके सोचना चाहिए, तो उनकी थॉट प्रोसेस के साथ हमें फैमिलियर होना चाहिए कि वो कैसे सोच रहे हैं चीजों के बारे में. अगर हम वो समझ पाएंगे, आई थिंक दैट विल बी मोर हेल्पफुल फॉर अस टू मेंटर. दैट इज माय.
अच्छा अच्छा is it easy? I mean, एक uh, is it is it easy to
This
get to
is
their levels?
not mindset.
It is not easy.
Can I
It is
speak, sir?
not. Yeah, yeah. Please, feel free.
सर आई एम फ्रॉम संस्कृत डिपार्टमेंट.
Okay, बताएं बताएं.
सर मैं ये बताना चाह रही थी कि जैसे अभी एक प्रश्न किसी ने पूछा था आपसे कि हमारे स्टूडेंट हमसे ज्यादा स्मार्ट है, लेकिन
हाँ
स्मार्ट अच्छी बात है, बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन कहीं पे कहीं ना कहीं वैल्यूज का प्रॉब्लम छूट जाता है.
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
क्योंकि
बिल्कुल.
जैसे पेशेंट से सुनना है, हम भी वो जितने स्मार्ट है वो हम भी उतना स्मार्टली काम कर सकते हैं, हम भी करते हैं,
हाँ
लेकिन
हाँ
वो होता है ना कि जिस जनरेशन से हम लोग आए हैं, हालांकि मैं तो बहुत आई एम 35 years old, मेरे बच्चे मुझसे 10-15 साल छोटे ही होंगे, ज्यादा छोटे नहीं है,
हाँ
लेकिन तब भी मैं जनरेशन गैप फील करती
बिल्कुल 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 मैं समझ सकता हूँ. बिल्कुल आई कैन
हूँ. हाँ.
अंडरस्टैंड दैट.
और सर ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं कि कंप्यूटर हैंडल नहीं कर सकते, कि आप बाकी सारे टेक्नोलॉजीज को हैंडल नहीं कर सकते, ऑल आर विथ मी एंड देयर, बट थिंग इज दैट कुछ ना कुछ एक गैप है, एक गैप.
यस यस ट्रू एक गैप बहुत बड़ा गैप है. Okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
If I may.
yes, please. Who's this?
Yes.
Acha,
Yes. Hi.
I'll.
This is Dr. Nupurnima Yadav. I'm from Department of Sociology.
Uh, okay. One second, Dr. Yadav. One second. I'll share my mobile number with all of you. You can text me there on WhatsApp. I'll take all your messages. 9810123649. What's the advantage of WhatsApp is the message stays with me. I can respond to your queries later also. 9810123649.
Okay. So
That's my
just
mobile number.
a point that I wanted to make.
Yes, please. Go
Yes,
ahead.
right. So we've noted down your phone number. A very
Absolutely great.
pertinent point when
Ha
we're
ha
talking about mentors here. It's
ha.
very, very pertinent for us to realize that we are in a positionality that we are mentors. Okay,
Yes,
so our
yes.
position is extremely instrumental here, and we
Yep.
should be able to utilize or access our position in an effective manner.
Very
So
true.
that, yes, so I think the
Very true.
positionality is something very crucial when it comes to mentors, and that should be harnessed effectively, efficiently.
Okay. So I've shared my mobile number for one reason, so that I can take all your responses and whatever is there, I can get back to you also. Because this is not something can be done in one hour workshop. I can just give you some idea about it. And when I say foundational competencies, the basic competency for a mentor is mentorship is a very dynamic process. Because just put yourself in a student's position. बच्चा आपको देखता है, बच्चा आपको सुन भी रहा है, आपको देखता भी है, बच्चा आपको ऑब्जर्व करता है. He or she observes you very carefully, and he will take note of your character qualities also, because you are off the classroom. You're off the classroom, so he'll look at your character. आप what kind of a person है यार? आप कैसे आदमी, कैसे इंसान है? What kind of person? Are you a sensitive person? Do you
But
respect
sir,
time?
can I come in?
Sorry. Hello.
Can I interrupt,
Next.
sir?
One second. Let me complete this. एक तो पहली चीज है कि
Okay,
dynamic.
okay,
Okay.
sir. Okay.
Second one is that emotional abilities. Emotional abilities. Second big thing is about the emotional abilities. And the third one is relation competence. How do you build that relation? where to start, how to start. And ultimately, mentoring is a relational process only. It's about building that relation. And these are three competencies which are all the three will be needed in in some part or the other. So we'll talk about all the three competencies. And if you have any observation, please share it on my mobile so that I can take it up. Or you WhatsApp me. I've given the number. You can WhatsApp me. Right now, the next one. When I say character qualities, okay, Dr. Purita Sharma is also there, and she's going to talk about moral values a little later. So I'll not touch upon this too much. I'll just talk about character qualities. Now, when I say character qualities, what should be character quality you should be role modeling as a practicing mentor? The key word is practicing mentor, not theory. Put yourself in the position of a mentor and try to imagine what quality should I be modeling or what quality should I be displaying in front of my students. You know, when you're in a classroom, we display certain character qualities, which is of a teacher. But here, the person is looking at you as a mentor, a different position altogether. So, what character qualities? Leave out integrity, leave out integrity. Besides integrity, what character qualities? Can you
Empathy.
take a guess? Empathy. Okay, great. That's more
Do
of an
you
emotional
practice
quality.
what you preach or not?
Yes, 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 yes. Aruna ma'am, great. Do you practice what you preach? Yes. What else? What else? Quickly.
Compassion. Compassion.
Compassion. Okay, all right. And
Flexibility also.
flexibility. Yes, flexibility also. What else? What else? Character की बात हो रही है यहाँ पर. What character qualities they notice? अच्छा, I have a
Polite.
little polite. Yes, amazing. Polite. Who was this?
No, Dr. Nawaz from zoology.
नवाज साहब आपने इतने politely बोला polite. That was very really sweet. I haven't heard such a soft-spoken, polite person from bio background. Seriously. Chalo. Great. Okay, what else? What else?
So how you carry yourself, how you
How you
conduct
can.
yourself in front of the public.
Yes. You know what? Please remember something.
Sir,
Huh. Yes, yes, please go on.
discipline.
Discipline.
This
Okay.
is Namita Pandey from Political Science. Like if you have a class and you don't reach in your class at time and you expect them to be there, so that kind of
Yes, yes.
inculcation of discipline doesn't come.
Namita, that's the first thing people should have raised. I mean, that's the first thing kids notice. That's the first thing. Uske baat ki baat hai. Are you there on time or not? So some character qualities. And the first character quality which I will talk about is basically I'll talk about is this part. Acha, I don't know how many of you know this. UGC has a whole document called Mulya Prabha. Some of you may know it, some of you may not know this. This is one of those values document. And what UGC expects, little on a higher side, of course, what UGC expects is you need to role model these character qualities. Righteous, be fair. A teacher has to be fair, impartial, service. You have to inculcate, you need to role model the service part, love, compassion, peace, not little idealistic, but this is what government of India expects. But at least in this, at least we can inculcate two things here. दो चीज तो कर सकते हैं. We can talk about fairness in class. We can role model the service aspect, service. So this is something which we can role model, and probably if, this document is something which I can share later if you want. And besides this, let's talk about one big character quality. I'll talk about only one big character quality. You know, mentorship is all about trust. Mentorship is all about trust. I have your back. That's the kind of trust. This is what we teach in police, or this is what we teach in governance and administration, that I have your back. It's all about the trust. And honesty is a very, very important aspect. You have to be little honest. You have to be honest with other person, and other person, so only then he will start becoming. और you know, बच्चे आपके साथ खुल के बात नहीं करेंगे जब तक आप उनके साथ बात नहीं करेंगे. आप नहीं बात करेंगे. Yes, Hari Singh, good morning. Hari Singh, as I got the first WhatsApp message. Hari Singh says, considerate, trustworthy. Hari Singh makes a lot of sense. Okay. See, WhatsApp is quicker, faster. It's in front of me. I can take your messages immediately. So आप मुझे WhatsApp भी कर सकते. That's the reason I shared the number. I repeat my number again, 9810123649. Okay. So developing trust and relationship. First thing is trust. He should trust you to the extent that he can start sharing details with you. personal problems. बच्चा कई बार ऐसा होता है कि he is good, पढ़ने में अच्छा होता है, but he has his emotional issues sometimes. These are all growing up issues. And वो किससे share करे? He can't share with his. Suppose if he's getting bullied in college, who will he come and talk to? I'm sure bullying happens in college. होता है नहीं होता है? कोई कुछ bullying. Have you seen kids getting
Many
bullied?
times it happens. Many times.
Yes.
It happens every time, sir.
But the
It
point is like,
happens not just in school and college, but even in your job situations. I'm still being bullied.
oh God. Acha, that brings me to one more point. That brings me to one interesting point. I want to talk about it also, but I'll just raise it. When you talk about mentoring, there are two angles of mentoring in higher education. One, teachers mentoring students. How about there's one more part of it? Senior faculties mentoring junior faculties. Now, this is a mentoring which we never talk about.
Yes,
How
sir. We should
about
talk about, please.
how about senior faculties mentoring junior faculties? Staff room is a wonderful place for mentorship. That's where senior junior interact. But I know what happens in staff room because I've been part of it for a very long time, 30 years. So I know what happens. So what I'm saying is why not this other dimension of mentorship? Probably I'll talk about some other day where actually senior teachers can mentor junior teachers because you can share your skills, you can share your knowledge. That's also mentorship. But anyway, today we'll talk about only the other part of it, the student part of it. But keep that in your heads, like senior faculty, junior faculty also. Okay, next one. Mentoring involves, now this is the biggest thing. Mentoring involves self-disclosure. आप अपने बारे में बताते हैं. अच्छा, when a student comes and sees you outside the classroom, he will disclose a lot of things about himself or herself with a lot of confidence, trust that this will not go out of the classroom. Suppose if there's a bullying case happening, somebody's getting bullied. Oh, bacha bade, with a lot of trust, he'll come and share with you. So you should have that kind of trust and honesty. Without that, it will not work. Without that, it will not work. There's one kind of mentorship model which is called transactional. Transactional means I came, I saw, I heard, I left. It's transactional. Aya, suna aur nikal gaya. We don't want that kind of mentorship happening. We want a mentorship where actually बच्चा आपसे आके खुल के बात करे. He's sharing things with you. That is what honesty will do. Somebody has a headphone mic on. Can you please yes? Can you please mute the mic? Can you please?
Rangarajan, please check.
This is. I feel like Big Brother watching into somebody's house with kids playing around. Violation of privacy. Okay, all right. Great. Chalo. The next one. Asha, the next big character competency which a kid will observe is this part, caring. Asha, I'll be very, very candid with you. You cannot fake caring with students. You cannot. You cannot. It's revealed in your body language. It's revealed in the way you conduct with that kid. You cannot fake this. You cannot fake. And Maya Angelou captures this wonderfully. In order to be a mentor, one has to care. बच्चा इसी के लिए आपके पास आता है. The moment you say the word support is the caring part. आपको मेरी फिक्र है या नहीं है? That's what it is. And that is caring. And यहाँ पर you cannot run away from this. And if the child finds that you care, he will come and disclose everything. He will come and share. And let's talk about this part now. I'll quote a small book. Probably you can have this in your library also. This book was published in 2019, and it's a decent book. It's written by an educationist only, and he talks about 5 caring practices. Look at the first one. This is very interesting. Active listening. Do you listen actively? आप मुझे सुन रहे हैं या देख रहे हैं? Let me see.
सुन रहे हैं सब.
सुन रहे हैं. कुछ बुझा रहे हैं या खाली सुन रहे हैं? Oh, by the way, I'm half
बुझा रहा
Bihari,
है
lots
सर.
of ways. बुझा रहा है
Sir,
ना
we are
सबको?
actively listening to you. We are
अच्छा,
actively listening to you.
एक्टिवली मेरे पास खाली एक व्हाट्सएप मैसेज आया एंड बाकी सब लगता है देख रहे हैं बस. Active listening is about engaging with the person, emotionally engaging with the person. just just a hypothetical situation. बच्चा अगर आपको कॉलेज आवर्स के बाद अगर बात करना चाहता है, if he's calling you, that means he has some problem to discuss. Without that, he'll never call up. And I'm very, very sure if he's calling you off office hours, that means the problem is not academic. And that's the moment he wants you to engage emotionally with the problem. Every problem will have some kind of an emotional issue somewhere. And these kids are going through an emotional transition. Emotional transition. Okay. There are certain limitations as well, not clarity regarding extent to which one should go. Yeah, yeah, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that. Sometimes students go, yep, yep, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. Amit, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that question. Next one is in this, he says, this is a very important thing. You have to make the child feel safe so that he can express himself. This is the most important thing. बच्चे को एक safety. A lot of these kids live in hostels. They stay in pages outside. And some of these kids are emotionally, they want that emotional safety sometimes. So you have to make the person feel safe so that they share, they're authentic about things, what they're going through. Actually, kids like to talk a lot about their struggles, daily struggles, not academic, daily struggles. So that is the second part. Make them feel safe. Make them feel safe. And the third one, you have to devote some time. Teachers already are quite overstretched. We have our research duties, we have our academic duties, we have our administrative duties, plus ऐसे workshop कराना. You have all these duties. इसके साथ वहां भी समय निकालना पड़ेगा. So it really takes a little bit of a stretch, but we have to do that. And the next one, last one, key life lessons. You have to share your life lessons, and you have to know where to draw the boundary up. You don't have to share every single lesson, but you have to learn to share these life lessons. So these are some of the practices. And last one is like be supportive, act on their behalf. Sometimes take decisions on their behalf also. Sometimes, not every time. These are the 5 caring practices he talks about. Oh, by the way, this is a decent book to read. Not a great book, but decent. He'll give some practical tips to be a good mentor. Also, can I recommend some literature later about mentorship, some mentoring manuals, if you're okay with that?
Yes, sir.
If you
Yes,
want to
sir.
explore
Bilkul, sir. Yes, sir.
something which we use in Government of India, also something I can refer to these books. I can give you a list so that you can explore this issue further. Okay, next one is students. Amit, I'm answering your questions here. Amit, I'm coming to a question here. One has to be wise enough to know when you make decisions, when you solve a problem, you have to be very careful. How much should I involve? What kind of decision should I take? And prudence is this. If you look at the last point, what I say, relational boundaries, you should be wise enough to know to what extent I should get involved. When a student shares personal stuff, you should be very, very clear to what extent. And this is where all things go wrong. Sometimes things go wrong. We have had cases where things actually have gone bad. So the relational boundaries. And next, sometimes some mentors have this thing of they they just burst out. They show anger on these kids rather than somewhere else. So these are some of the issues where you need to be a little wise about things. Amit, I thought you're texting me, but it seems you're texting somebody else. Okay.
No, sir, I had texted you only.
Okay, I got the text. Okay, Amit. Amit, इतने दुखी क्यों हो यार?
No, sir, no, I'm not. Just
Okay.
listening to you. Yeah.
Are you sure? Okay, great. If
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
listening to me, it's great. अच्छा, बड़ी दुखी आवाज में बोल रहे हो यार, sir. I'm
No,
listening
no,
to
no,
you.
sir.
अरे
I just have
punishment हो गया यार.
no, no,
Life में
cold. That's all.
अच्छा, cool. Okay, great. I love this word cool. Amit saying cool. Nice. Okay, okay. So next one. Next session is on emotional ability. So I'll not talk a lot about emotional abilities. But I have two simple questions. Are you all happy people? Pretend to be happy or seriously happy? Aruna ma'am is holding the head and thinking, am I a happy person? What the hell is happening? Okay. Yeah, आप लोग मुस्कुराते नहीं हो?
No, I have learned to be happy.
You have learned to be happy. Okay. You know
I'm
why
quite
I'm asking?
happy with myself. I'm quite
Okay,
happy
great.
with everything. In fact, people say, "Why? How can you be laughing all the time?"
Good, great. See, the point is, students will see that only. Students will see that only.
Yeah.
They are very, very good. See, when you talk to students informally or off, I'll share some of the things also later that what quality students look for in a mentor. That's my survey I'll share with you also. And what quality students don't like in a mentor, I'll share that also with you. Now, that will be like kind of an eye opening. You know, a lot of students feel, hello? Okay, a lot of students feel, yeah, is he enthusiastic? Is he cheerful? Achha, a small question. You know, kids often get bored in classrooms. आप लोग बोर होते हैं?
Sometimes annoying.
Sometimes annoying. Okay. Now the question is, simple. Next time ना किसी स्टूडेंट से पूछ के देखना कि आप बोर किससे होते हो? टीचर से बोर होते हो, सब्जेक्ट से बोर होते हो या टॉपिक से बोर होते हो?
सर अपने सिचुएशन से बोर हो जाते हैं
वो अपने
उनका
सिचुएशन से बोर रहता है. अच्छा, ठीक है, ग्रेट. अपने सिचुएशन से बोर है, हमसे नहीं बोर होते, मतलब कहने का मतलब ये है. ठीक है.
मेरे क्लास में नहीं होते, मेरी क्लास में नहीं होते हैं. दैट इज द
अरे
गुड थिंग.
great. अरे great, amazing, amazing, good. So that means you'll make a great mentor. Seriously. Now
थैंक यू.
that happiness, the enthusiasm is a great connect. Acha, I could have done this session very differently, but all of you seeing me for the first time, all of you seeing me for the first time, I could have done this session. Hi, good morning.
We should do this session every weekend, every week.
Hi, good morning. I'll talk about mentorship today. We'll start with the process of mentoring.
यस
मुझे
सर.
ऐसे करना चाहिए था सेशन.
बहुत जरूरत है इस चीज की.
अगर मैं ऐसे सेशन लेता तो बहुत मजा आता. कुछ लोग
You
अभी
know,
मुस्कुरा रहे हैं.
when I ask my students for responses and they don't respond, then I say, okay, this is how you want me to give you a lecture.
Yes.
So this is how I'm going to start talking, and I do exactly the same thing. Then they say,
Great.
no, ma'am, we are going to be responding now. I said,
You
yeah, good, interact with me.
You know, that's why I keep telling you all that we are interacting with a very young, emotionally agile generation.
Yeah.
Look at the emojis
सर
these
कैन
people
आई
use.
स्पीक समथिंग.
Yeah, please go ahead.
मैं तो अपना बहुत छोटा बच्चा है मेरा, 8 साल का बच्चा, उसके साथ मैं स्ट्रगल करती हूँ.
अरे, I can
वो
imagine.
स्ट्रगल से लेके मेरा कॉलेज से स्ट्रगल चलता है.
I can imagine. And it
मुझे
just,
बहुत जरूरत है ये चीज की.
okay, yes, all right. Now, when I say emotional abilities, we'll talk about this one emotional ability. Be sensitive. Being sensitive. We talk about empathy, compassion, all that is fine, but little sensitivity. You know, कई बार एक हिंदी में ना बहुत अच्छा वर्ड है सुनवाई. कई बार बस वो इसके लिए आते कोई उसकी बात सुन ले. 5 मिनट ही सही, बट सुन लो. वो खुशी खुशी चला जाता है. That is what the sensitivity is all about. Further, next one is this. You know, new relationship with you. A child enters into a relationship, it'll have new emotions. You got to learn to manage that. And sometimes conflicts also happen. बच्चा आपसे बुरा मान के भी चला जाएगा because it's off the class. So to learn to manage those feelings. Acha, one very important question. A child learns emotional stability, a lot of emotional stability from the mentor. How you emotionally handle yourself in the class. Sorry?
From mother, sir. Mother and family.
Yes, mother and family, but college में आने के बाद तो he's spending more time here with you all.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So you are a kind of an emotional role model also for him. You
yes,
are.
Sir.
So the last and the most important one, you have to learn to appreciate how they are feeling. Why they are feeling like that. ऐसा क्यों है? They want that understanding. This doesn't take too much of time. It just takes a little bit of listening and try to put yourself in the position, as somebody said in the beginning, कि हमें उनके angle से उनके perspective सोचना चाहिए. That's what this is. And this is no big rocket science. I'll share a very interesting case study later about this part, about the whole thing, how it happens also. Ashok, how much time do we have?
Sir, we can have 10-15 minutes for question answers. Your session is till 1:30, sir.
Question answers hai? Seriously, question answers can be sent to
I'm
me.
sure teachers have questions.
Oh yes, teachers question नहीं पूछते कैसे teachers, right?
No, they're students. At the moment, they're students. And you
Okay.
are the only teacher.
I'm not exactly a teacher. Seriously, I'm not a teacher. I'm just talking to all of you. I'm a retired person now. I'm a retired person just sharing my ideas, nothing else.
Once a teacher,
And
always a
take
teacher.
30
A
seconds.
teacher is a compulsive and impulsive advice giver.
Oh, yes. Very true, very true. Okay, further. Now, this is one area I would focus a lot on. I'm talking about Indian context. Emotional, to theek hai, that matters a lot. But this is one. There's this wonderful organizational psychologist, Tammy Allen. She wrote a book and a paper. The book is about this, designing workplace mentoring programs. So probably I'll recommend the book if you're actually planning to have mentorship program for teachers, teach how teachers can design a program. When I say teaching, the mentorship program, it involves a complete design. Hum kis din kya baat kare? What should be the mentoring calendar? How should I go about it? How should I evaluate my role as a mentor? How should I evaluate mentees? All this you'll find in this book. And she was of the view that one big quality is about how do you manage your relationships, caretaking in relationships. That's her idea, relational ability. Tammy Allen, I'll probably send a book also. I mean, I'll share the booklets also with you. And when I say relationship, first is this. Are you open for a new relationship in life, in a professional space? A new child walks in and he comes and talks to you and you have to mentor him. That's a new relationship, and the relationship will be for 3 years. Are you okay with that relationship? Do you want that relationship, first of all? I hope none of you here feel that mentoring is more of a imposition here. I'm sure all of you are by doing this by choice. If you're doing this by choice, you should be open to that relationship. It's a new relationship, an absolutely new relationship. And it's a professional relationship. It has nothing to do with your staff room. It has nothing to do with your academics. It's a very, very different professional relationship. Oh, by the way, there is a word called professional intimacy. And this relation will have its own levels of intimacy. We use this term called professional intimacy. Are you open to that? That's one. Next one, big relationability. You have to respect the mentee, respect whatever it is. Respect his background, respect his culture, respect, because they want that respect. Okay, but not only for 3 years, but forever. Okay, great. That's nice. Somebody has said the mentorship is for all life. Okay, Hari Singh, thank you. For the next one, first, professional intimacy. I'll explain this phrase a bit, professional intimacy. I borrowed this phrase from police and army training. In army and police training, we use a lot of this because there a lot of mentorship happens. Okay, empathy. I may skip a couple of slides. Asha, somebody has switched on the mic. Can you please unmute, mute the mic because I can hear it here. All right. I may skip a couple of slides so that we finish within time because I don't want to exceed my time because lunchtime ke baad it'll be difficult for you to hang on. Okay, I can skip this. Okay. I want to add one very important thing. I've often seen mentors doing this. वो अपने बारे में बात करना शुरू कर देते हैं. They keep talking about themselves. It is hello. Hello. Mentors की खास बात होती है जैसे as Aruna ma'am said, like teachers are always a teacher, they like to talk. So we tend to exceed that. Instead of allowing the student to talk, we talk about our own selves. We talk about our own struggles, which is not needed much. You have to make them speak. I repeat, you have to make them speak. That is what is the most important aspect of mentorship. That is what is empathy here. And the next one, professional intimacy. When I say professional intimacy, okay, this is the entire mentorship happens in a professional space. And since a lot of disclosure involved, you are sharing things about yourself. The child is sharing things about himself or herself. So there's a kind of intimacy that starts. And that intimacy, you have to know where to maintain the boundary. I used the word warmth, nothing else. Nothing beyond that. And warmth is a very fluid word, very fluid word. But without this intimacy, nothing will work. Without this intimacy, the person will not be able to सुनेगा ही नहीं आपकी बात. Neither will take you seriously. So that's where this professional intimacy, the warmth part comes into play. Okay, question answers 130 to 145. That will be difficult because 145, I have one more session to attend to. So I just have a half an hour lunch window for me.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
I'll see how it goes. Or probably I can take your, you can mail me the questions if you want. I can take it up that way. That's why I shared my WhatsApp number also. Okay. When I say professional intimacy, it's about this. Relaxed relational atmosphere. It should be very relaxed. Very relaxed. Further, the trust has to be both intellectual and emotional levels. This is professional intimacy. All right. Now I want to share something which will interest you. अच्छा आपने सोचा students क्या सोचते होंगे? Just put yourself in a student's position and tell me what students will feel about a mentor. What kind of mentor they would like to have. These are the qualities that we think a mentor should have. Let's see what students would like to have. Let's see the students' perspective. What do you say? Where's the sociologist here, Dr. Yadav, Gariba, or I'm forgetting his name. There's a Paul science scholar also. I like to have different perspective. What do students have to say? I can't see anybody besides Aruna ma'am. Nothing else. Dr. Aruna के अलावा किसी को नहीं देख सकता हूँ मैं इस वक्त.
Sir, can you hear me, please?
Yeah. Please. Yes, carry on.
Sir, I think the students would, in the first few sessions, they would like to know if they can identify with their mentor.
Okay.
And
all right.
Only then they will start looking upon them, I believe, because if they think they are completely different from a completely different generation or completely different, someone who is just professionally only attached to them, they will not be able to open up with them.
Okay. Right. So I have one WhatsApp message saying that friendly with positive attitude. Okay, friendly with positive attitude. What else? This is
Person
my
should be approachable.
Person should be approachable. Achha, that's what students will expect. Okay. Let me non-judgmental. Okay, Aditi, thank you. Yes, Aditi, thank you. Great. Please send the message so that I know what how. See, I'll be able to help you only if I know what you all are thinking. Mentoring is a very, very new subject. Okay, so let's see. Now, students want, first thing, this will be very interesting. First thing the students want is intelligence, not just subject matter, worldly aware. Worldly, so that you can advise them. Sir, मैं क्या करूं? इसको पढ़ के मैं कहाँ जाऊं? क्या करूं? And they'll come with all kinds of questions. That's the first thing they look for you. Actually, a lot of these kids come for kind of a career guidance also. And sometimes they talk about offbeat careers also sometimes. So that is one, intelligence. They would like the teachers to be trustworthy. Okay, great. Who's this? Please leave a name also. Okay, this is Namita. Namita, thank you. And next one. This is my favorite one. Empathy and caring. Forget this. Okay. Look at this. You know, a lot of students had told me, sir, थोड़ा तो sense of humor तो होना चाहिए, sir. Serious. क्लास में भी serious, क्लास के बाहर भी serious, sir. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. Little bit of sense of humor, little enthusiasm, and they require, that's a quality the students look for in a mentor. Patience. Very, very important. Actually, all of you have that, teachers usually have that very dry sense of humor sometimes, but this is not something which they like. They like a very happy sense of humor because they like to talk about things. So sense of humor. Next one, dedication. Oh, they want time. They like mentors with a lot of mentors who are very generous with time. Very generous with time. Samay. And this is where you need to learn to draw the line. Kahan, kitna. That's where the rules of mentorship come in. You have to first day itself, jab aap milte ho, you have to put a rule down. Ki these are the calling times. This is how it goes. And last one, big ability to motivate. Okay. You know why this ability to motivate comes in? I'll tell you. You know, our students listen to a lot of motivational talk. They listen to a lot of, Neha, thank you, Neha. Okay, positive approach, Neha Electronics. Okay, thank you, Neha. Okay, our students listen to a lot of positive, motivational talk. They listen to TED Talks. They listen to Tony Robbins. They read Jay Shetty. Can you imagine our kids reading Jay Shetty? They listen to Oprah sometimes. Motivation. But the point is, we should be the primary source of motivation, not those guys, because we spend a lot of time with them. We are the one who have to motivate them. Actually, when I say motivation, it's not about academic excellence. General motivation. Generally push them in the right direction. Nudge them. Nudge them. They come for that. They come for that. उनको just push them, nudge them. That's what is needed. I I personally feel I personally feel teachers are the I personally feel teachers.
ये यूं बनाया फिर यूं कर दिया, बैंक में ये नहीं होता।
तो दो तो ऐसे ही बनता है,
दो ऐसे बनता है, पहले यूं कर दिया फिर बीच में ये कर दिया। ये देखो ये साफ लग रहा है।
Okay. ये तो यूं कर दिया यूं हो गया. Okay. Sounds like a mentor mentee speaking. यूं करो तो यूं हो जाएगा. All right. चलो. Ability to motivate further. This is fun. Now this is the interesting aspect. Actually, students don't like some things about you. Can you guess what is it? Students don't like something about mentors. And this is kind of universal. I mean, most students always say that. Can you guess what it is? They don't like some things about you. Can you guess? What is it?
To be
Hello.
very preachy.
So,
They don't
yes.
want everyone to be very preachy all the
Okay.
time.
All right.
They
All
don't
right.
like having a holier than thou attitude.
Yes.
Egoistic.
A biased attitude, strictness, egoistic. Okay, I'll have a first thing the student said is like some mentors are very detached, some teachers are very detached. अपने में रहते हैं, सेल्फ इन्वॉल्व, अपने बाहर कुछ देखते ही नहीं है. हम जब भी बात करें तो अपनी बात शुरू कर देते हैं. सेल्फ इन्वॉल्व, डिटैच्ड, और रिजिड. Time means time, rule means rule. There's no flexibility. Okay, Rakhi, thank you. Arrogance, yes. Now, this is the interesting part. Emotional react. They react. Lack of connectivity, reaction, and teachers have this habit. In fact, even I have this. That is this. We are too demanding sometimes, and students don't like that. The demanding aspect is something which they don't like. So these are some of the undesirable characteristics. Now, time for. Acha, are you in the mood? Can I take you all traveling to?
I think he has some network issues. Just trying to get in touch with him. He says it's now it's joining.
Ma'am, sir is joining again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just admitted him.
Okay. I need to share the presentation again.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, please.
Okay. Is it done?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Was the problem at my side or your? Because my side network was perfectly fine. Okay, I was just asking you all. Can I take you all to Nizamabad?
We lost him again, na?
Yes, I think some network issue at his side.
Is it okay?
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
hear me?
Now he lost the audio actually video.
Okay. I'll share. Is my presentation visible? Hello.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, great. I don't know whether network issue is my side or on the other side. I don't know. But anyway, let's. I think we're back. Okay. Uh, I'll take you to Nizamabad. Are you okay if I'll take you guys to Nizamabad?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know whether you like it or not. I'll take you guys to Nizamabad. That's Nizamabad in Telangana. That's hello. Please mute your mics, please. I'm going to talk about two big models here. Let's travel to Nizamabad and let's travel to this school. It's a social welfare residential school. It's a Telangana government school. It's a very small school, not a very big school, not a public school. It's a Sarkari school. And a small tribal close, I was living in Telangana, was having aspirations for his daughter. So he got this girl admitted to the school, and her name is that's this kid. She joined the school. Her name is Purna, and this school did a lot of. I mean, this whole school was a brainchild of one IPS officer, one Praveen. He's an IPS officer, and he ensured that these residential schools become uh, the education condition becomes as good as the public schools. So he spotted this girl and he realized that this girl has talent because he saw this girl's athleticism and he realized that this girl has a great talent. Now, what he did after seeing the talent, he started encouraging it. He's an IPS officer. He started encouraging it. And he started pushing this girl into encouraging this girl into rock climbing as a sport. And this young girl took it up as duck to water. She just loved it. Now, and this IPS officer supported her throughout this journey, and she honed the talent to such an extent that she became the youngest Indian to climb Mount Everest at the age of 13, and all from a government school. All because one man mentored her. And he was not an employee of the school. He was not a full-time teacher also. And the girl's name is Purna, the mentor and the mentee. At the age of 13 years, 11 months, this girl climbed Mount Everest. Youngest woman to climb Mount Everest. This is one form of mentorship. This we call social support mentorship, supporting the person, support from outside. You don't have to be physically present all the time. You don't have to be hands on. You can nudge, you can support, you can sponsor, you can advise. That's one part of mentorship. And I'm talking about a Sarkari school. I'm not talking about a big public school. I'm talking about Sarkari school. Second, I'll share one more model here. Let's meet this. Are the pictures clear? What you can see on your screen is a German lady along with 5 Indian boys. And all these 5 boys are playing age league hockey matches in Germany. And these kids, these boys, they don't play for India. They don't play for any state. They just They just come from a small village in Rajasthan, very small village in Rajasthan. The lady's name is Andrea Trumchen. Andrea was a hockey player, German hockey player. She came to India as a tourist. She was traveling around Dausa district in car. And when she was traveling around Dausa district, she noticed that she just got down. You know, when you travel in car for a long time, your legs become a little stiff, so you get down and walk. So she just got down, she was walking. And she got to this village. And when she entered the village, she realized that यहाँ कुछ भी नहीं है. There are no schools, kids are running wild. कुछ भी नहीं है वहाँ पर. You know, one of those villages, backward villages. बहुत बुरा हाल था. So somehow the image stuck her. The holiday gets over, she gets back to Germany, like, and she could not forget the whole thing. After a couple of months later, she came down to the village with the intention of settling down, do something for the village. She only knew three things. She knew English, German, and how to play hockey. And गांव वालों को तीनों चीजें नहीं आती थी. She came down, she stayed there, and right now the village looks like this. She mentors these kids in playing hockey. She mentors these girls in playing hockey, and she has a school there completely. And these kids go down to Germany almost every second year to play age league hockey matches. This is relational mentoring, mentoring hands-on, साथ में. That's one level of mentoring. So there are two levels of mentoring. There are two levels of mentoring. I would request you all, either you minimum is this, social support them, support them. Second, if you're really into mentoring, second level happens to be this relational mentoring. You can get to the second part. Now, the relational mentoring would require a lot of hands-on approach, hands-on. You have to hold hands. आपको उनके साथ चलना पड़ेगा. This will require a lot of time. This will require a lot of time. But it's worth the effort. Trust me, it's worth the effort. It's worth the effort. And when I talk about mentoring, I'll share one very unique story of mentoring, unique story. That's the last part. After that, we'll close. I'll share all this little later. And okay. Oh, by the way, this gentleman on the screen, R. Narasimha, sometimes you should invite him once. He's a professor in IISc, Indian Institute of Science. 2019, he was voted as he received Nature's Lifetime Mentorship Award. His mentees gave him Lifetime Mentorship Award. Nature gave him, Nature Asia. And he himself was mentored by Professor Satish Dhawan, the space scientist. And he himself had to say this about the mentorship. He said, "My duty as a mentor is to encourage those who have genuine interest in the subject and help them as much as possible." That's Narasimha for you. He still teaches in Indian Institute of Science. Before I close, I want to take up, okay, these are some of the malpractices we can. I want to just talk about one last part. You know, one of the big issues in India, in Delhi, we see street kids. Agreed? Do you think they have any future, street kids? कुछ कर सकते हैं हम लोग इनके लिए? सब सोच रहे कुछ तो कर ही सकते हैं. Okay, there are almost this many street kids in our country. A rough estimate. Now let's travel to Selampur. I hope you all know where Selampur is. That's Selampur. And let's climb up on this बरसाती. आपको दिख रहा है बहुत छोटी सी बरसाती है ऊपर, बहुत छोटी सी बरसाती है. Just look at the बरसाती. And you can see a lot of kids going to the barsati. And all these kids are street kids. Some of them are rack pickers. Some of them wash cars. All street kids. चलो उस घर के अंदर चलते हैं. Let's enter to the house. जैसे आप घर के अंदर जाते हैं, you'll see this scene. You know what these kids are doing? They all are working on India's, rather I should say, world's first newspaper run by street kids. These kids run a newspaper. And you see an elderly girl sitting there, थोड़ी बड़ी लड़की बैठी है. She mentors all these other kids how to pick news. And this whole model is based on mentorship only. Look at these guys. They're collecting news. They only deal with street kids' news. And that's a newspaper. It is in Delhi. Mentorship in action. In action. They're street kids. They're street kids. And now they come up with the English issue also. Even we can do it. Only thing we need is we need to have little bit of drive to do it. And mentorship does work. Mentorship does work. And sorry, I cut short things here. Why? Because we need to wind up on time. And this is about me. And I hope I touched on the relevant areas. I want to talk about malpractices and mentee malpractices also. But nevertheless, I'm sure we'll have a next time for sure. पता नहीं next time कब होगा आप लोग बुलाएंगे नहीं बुलाएंगे. But I thought I shared something important or something interesting with all of you. Right. And mentorship is a possibility. Okay, great. Thank you for listening, I should say. Thank you for being patient with me. लगता है बहुत लोग सो भी गए, बहुत लोग चली भी गए. 1:30, typical like students
Thank you,
भूख लगनी
sir.
शुरू हो जाती है.
Sir, I have a question, which I've also written on WhatsApp to you.
Yeah. I saw the question. I'll get back on the question for sure. I
So
will.
the second part of it, I wanted to actually talk in front of the whole my colleagues, because it would help them also. That so when we are talking to a person and we are like in professional intimacy, you say, how do we draw the line? What words do we draw the line that this is now beyond me? And so what are the how should we use our expressions and language in a manner to tell them that we cannot go beyond this?
That starts in the very first day itself. The very first day when you take a mentorship session, you have to draw the line. इसके बाद कुछ नहीं होगा. And mostly in India, what I've seen is like mentors have this tendency to become over friendly sometimes. पहले दिन ही over friendly हो जाते हैं. First day in every mentorship session, first day is you draw the rules. That these are the rules, these are the boundaries. इसके बाहर कुछ नहीं. These are the boundaries. So it starts in the very first day, not later. Later it becomes difficult. And in fact, some mentors have this wonderful habit also. They'll give you a list of areas they'll be open to talk about. They'll give you a very clear-cut list. इन चीजों के बारे में आपसे बात करने को तैयार हूं. They'll make it very clear. Like for example, they'll say, I don't mind talking about your family, but I will not interfere. I don't like to listen to about your mom and dad's problems. Are you understanding? You can tell me about your family, but I will not listen to about your mom and dad's problems. Very simple. You can talk to me about relationships, but I'll not give you relationship advice. So you have to draw the line the very first day. Oh, I have done this. I have done this. I have a big list of do's and don'ts for students. And the very first day, give it to them. Very first day. नहीं तो क्या होगा कि they'll know the rules. See, the point is a professional relationship. They need to understand the rules. And each teacher can set the rules after meeting the after meeting the students. First you meet them, understand them, then you set the rules out. That this is the rules, this is the boundary, and इसके बाहर कुछ नहीं. It works. उससे क्या होगा कि उसको भी पता है कि क्या बात करना है, क्या नहीं कर सकते. You'll have a clarity also. You will not get into those issues further. So that's one way of handling it. Okay, right. I have a couple of questions. Neeru, I'll take your question also a little later. See, you can feel free to send the questions on WhatsApp. I will respond to it by today evening or by tomorrow for sure. Because I know there's a journey, we started it. And I think I owe you all this much at least. Because after मैं 1.5 घंटे सुना है तो मुझे भी इतना कुछ करना पड़ेगा. इनमें 1.5 घंटे झेला है आप लोगों ने मुझे यार.
Sir, that's not the truth actually. We have not, मतलब हमने आपको झेला नहीं है. It's a wonderful session for all of us.
It was very engaging.
Actually, sir, and we have learned a lot of things. So I would like to thank you, sir, for sharing your wisdom with our faculty members. And I think the takeaway for the day that excellent teachers may not be the excellent mentors. So we need to polish ourselves to become good mentors, of course. And I think effective mentorship requires a dynamic, as you have said, that it requires a dynamic interplay of character qualities, emotional abilities, and relational competencies. So we will definitely work upon all these aspects which you have discussed today. We have also learned about the do's and don'ts of the mentorship process from the students' perspective. So thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful session. We are sincerely blessed to have you today amongst us, and thank you so much for taking out your precious time for illuminating our minds with your exquisitive knowledge. So I'm sure that this massive influx of information, this must have been a massive influx of information for all of us. And sir, if possible, we can take up some queries if you permit.
I have
We
one
can
more
have
session.
10 minutes for that, and then after that, we'll have a short lunch break.
I have a session at 1:45, so I have only
Okay,
15-minute
sir.
lunch
Sure.
break.
No
So that's why I
problem.
said you
We
can
request.
text me the questions. I
Sure,
already
We'll
sir.
have
answer
couple of
later,
questions.
he's saying, na Pooja?
Sure,
We'll
sure,
take
sure,
some
sir.
questions.
Sure, sir. So we would
So
request everyone to pose their queries on the WhatsApp to sir. And once again, we thank you, sir, for the wonderful session.
most welcome, most welcome, most welcome. And I'll surely see you all sometime. And let's see. We started a journey here. I'm happy that at least you started it off because not too many colleges take this very seriously. I'm happy that you have started it off. It's a wonderful journey. Let me tell you, it's a very rewarding journey. It's a very rewarding journey. Oh, by the way, there's one more process I want to talk about, which we didn't have time. There's something called reverse mentoring. रिवर्स मेंटरिंग मीन्स जब आप बच्चों से बात कर आप उनसे सीख सकते हो. For example, like I have done this. I've learned a lot about Instagram from my students. That's what's called reverse mentoring. Mentoring is not about only up, it's about they also can add value. They know a lot about technology which they can teach you. In fact, they'll be more happy, they'll be more involved. उनको अच्छा लगेगा. That builds trust also. That also builds trust. That's what we call reverse mentoring. So anyway, short of time, but anyway, we will be in touch. Of course, you have a number and details. And thank you all for listening. Thank you all for listening, and I'll see you all. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Have a great day ahead. Bye. Bye. See you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Pooja, we'll break for lunch now,
Yes.
and we'll
30 PhD scholars. He is the recipient of various awards and honors. He has also been appointed as a member of multiple societies of national and international importance. He has been serving as an editor of Indian Psychiatry Society North Zone, that is Journal of Mental Health and Human Behavior. With this introduction, I would now like to invite Sir to deliver his talk. Over to you, sir.